I honestly don't know. I definitely think there'll be more technology involved. And I was talking with Hope Warshaw earlier today about that and about how, patients are demanding the technology interface with diabetes education. And the challenge is reimbursement, because right now there's really no mechanism for reimbursement. So until the system catches up with technology, I don't know how we're going to make that happen. But I think definitely the future will hold technology-based diabetes education in some way, shape, or form. I think the thing that is our challenge right now is to figure out how to meet patients where they are, because patients' level of expectation has changed so much since the internet has taken over. And patients come to us knowing a lot more, demanding a lot more, and expecting a lot more, and that's probably all the same thing. But I think that diabetes educators are going to have to step up their game to meet patients where they are. And I know that's probably an overused phrase, but it's what we need to do. Thank you. Thank you for asking that. I heard it at a meeting in Chicago in June. I was devastated that somebody said it wasn't a patient, it was someone from academia who said, well, diabetes educators just say, here's what I know and here's what you have to do. I think the misconception is that diabetes educators tell people what they have to do. And the bottom line is nobody has to do anything. And we're here to teach. We're here to facilitate people's learning and people's ability to take care of themselves. We aren't going home and holding their hands. We aren't making them do anything. It's all about making choices, and it's the patient's choice to make. I think, first of all, going into a new relationship with a CDE by wiping away any bad experiences that have happened in the past, because I do get the sense that patients have had bad experiences and with healthcare providers in general, and I think that goes back to a healthcare system that isn't set up to be patient-centered, and we're working on changing that. So I think patients need to go into appointments forgetting about past experiences, give everybody a new chance, just like diabetes educators have to treat each patient like a new person and not, everybody's the same. And they need to set their expectations up front and just say, here's what I know, here's what I want to know, here's what I'm confused about. Ask a lot of questions and don't leave until you get your answers. And if you don't get your answers, find a different diabetes professional. And I think patients deserve to have a good fit with their professionals, and I think communication is at the core of that, and very often somebody is a good fit, they just didn't communicate enough to figure that out. I think if someone is new to diabetes, it's important to get good information from the start. I mean, it's important to continue getting good information and solid, reputable, dependable information. And I think that we now have many, many websites out there that are university-sponsored and many nonprofits. And I say government-sponsored, even though some people cringe at that. But I think that those types of websites have good, solid information. Because patients are going to seek information on their own regardless. Nobody's going to sit down and say, well, I'm not going to do anything until I see my CDE. But I think that patients should expect good information and resources from their CDEs. And I don't know if it's most important, but a very important thing is to go with your gut. And if your gut tells you, I'm not sure if this is right, like this is different from what someone told me, or this is different from what the last 3 people said, or check it with a healthcare provider. And if that gut feeling is coming from when you're meeting with a healthcare provider, check it with another healthcare provider. That's a loaded question for me because I find it overwhelming in a good way. And I kind of equate social media and diabetes, the diabetes online community with virtual diabetes camp. I was very fortunate to have spent many years at diabetes camp as a camper, counselor, student nurse, camp nurse, clinical director, and I have lifelong friendships from camp that will never go away, and they are some of my best friends, and they happen to have diabetes. And when I observe people in the virtual diabetes community sharing, supporting, encouraging, and venting, I think it's like camp. You know, it's just camp for people who are thousands of miles apart. So I think the important thing is to get good information and to support each other and to stay positive about diabetes, because it's very easy to kind of slide down that slippery slope of, well, I can just commiserate with people online, and I like to use that connection to support and encourage each other and stay positive. Well, I sound like a broken record, but I can't say enough that just owning the disease and owning my management of my disease and being positive and making choices and approaching everything as a choice. It's my choice to take care of myself every day. And I think that's, for me, the most important way to approach diabetes.